Record. Okay. It says recording in progress, but I need to know where it's recording at. Okay. So recording is in progress. So what we're gonna do is so Linux, little bit about Linux. It's an operating system. It's not a programming language, okay? It is an operating system that was developed by AT&T. And what they did was they came out with this internal operating system. But later on, they don't know what to do with this, so they made it free, right? And afterwards, a lot of big corporations, they took it and start making it in their own operating system. But one person, Linux Traveled, he took the code and made it something called Linux. And then he made it free. So with the Linux, anybody is able to download the source code and create your own Linux, and you could name your name after it. That is something allowed. Only thing is you have to make it free. You cannot charge any money to it. When you could charge money? When somebody is asking for some support with Linux, then you could charge some money for that. And usually a lot of big corporations, they pay a pretty penny for that. All these big corporations, they are using Linux, mostly Red Hat Linux, which is dominated in US. There are other flavors of Linux, but we're not worried about it. We are worried about only Red Hat, okay? And then the other thing is small version of Linux is running in your smartwatches, game console, routers, switches, uh, traffic lights, traffic control system. It's running Linux here. Because why is it so much running is because the footprint of the Linux is small. Okay, so here, don't worry about it. Here, it's only 6 gigabyte is being used, okay? Compared to if you go into Windows here, and if you go into like C drive, and if you go here, and let's take a look here. So here it says 100 GB, but I have some data on my computer itself. So usually Windows take up to like 50 GB. 50 GB of space is reserved compared to 5 to 6 GB. So Windows operating system, it has like a lot of graphic takes space. So that's why it is taking a lot of space here. But the thing with Windows is not agile. Okay, so it crashes and stuff. But Linux does not, because Linux does not have any graphics. It's just running on pure text. So with that, what I'm going to do is, actually now is the good time for us to actually dive in, start working on it. I think it looks like everybody is logged in and ready. So what we could do is we could start logging in and learning some commands here. Okay, so very first thing what you should do is hit enter on your screen. So what happens is when you hit enter, it goes to next line. We may be familiar with this, but what I'm trying to say is whenever you hit enter, that is an input. Okay, and then what you see on the screen is output here. So let's learn very first command, pwd. Okay, so you know what? Actually, hold on.
It's not letting me type anything in my terminal.
Did it time out?
Yeah, it timed out.
Okay. So use the upper arrow key on your keyboard. When you use the upper arrow key on the keyboard, it will remember you what you have typed last time. So the line SSH would show up,
Okay, yeah.
and then hit enter and go back in there again.
Okay.
You good? Okay, good. All right, so I'm gonna log in as, okay. So okay, so very first command, pwd. Okay, so pwd is when you type pwd, okay, so pwd is a print working directory. Okay, so print working directory is short for pwd. So it is a command. Okay, when you type command pwd, you see the result here, /home/Zafar1. And for you, /home/Haris, Hamid, Uzair, and Austin. So when you log in as a user, that is your home directory. So this is where the entrance for your operating system. This is your gateway. Actually, this is your window into the operating system. Okay, when you first log in, this is your landing page. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is here. So this is users Zafar1 landing page, landing window. Okay, so if this is Harris, it would be like /home/Harris, right? That is how
Yeah.
you came into the operating system. That is your landing window. All right. So now the second command is clear. If you type clear, it will clear the screen. Okay, clear. And one thing you should remember in Linux, everything is in lowercase. In Linux, every command is in lowercase. So if you see, I'm typing in here, if somehow it is showing up in the uppercase, just assume it's lowercase. Okay, there are barely few commands that are in uppercase, but I'm not worried about that now. Okay, so what it is everything in Linux is lowercase. There is no such thing as grammar. There is no such thing as stop, anything like that. Just everything lowercase. And always when you create a file, anything like that, stay in a habit of creating everything in lowercase. Okay, it would be easier for you. You will understand once you get a hang of it. You will understand. So when you type clear, it clears the screen. All right, so now let me give you a concept called input, okay? This is not a command, this is just a concept. So what does input means? Okay, input means the command you're doing it. Okay, like pwd. Okay, so when you type pwd part, its input, where is it coming from? It's coming from the keyboard, right? Anything you putting in from the keyboard is called input. Okay, so any command you are putting in from keyboard is input. And the result, you see result here, right? So whatever the result is displayed on the screen is called output. Very simple, basic stuff. And if you are talking with another person and they are getting an error and you're helping somebody, you would ask the question, what is the output? Okay, then he would know output, this is the output he have to provide. The result displayed is output, okay? That's it. There is nothing much to it, okay? The response. So what I'm going to do is the result or response from OS, okay? The response from OS is output. Okay, so what we learned so far is present working directory. When you type pwd, it tells you where you at, and most of the time when you log in, when you do pwd, this is your home directory. When you type clear, it clears the screen, and we a little bit touched on input and output here. Okay, and so the next thing we're going to learn is ls. Okay, so everybody type ls on your screen. Tell me if you see any files in there.
I got nothing.
Okay, good. So when you type ls, don't worry about this command here. So when you type ls, okay, there is nothing in there, right? So what we're gonna do is let's create a file there. So ls, it's list the content of the file. So before ls, let's learn a command called touch, touch. Give a space there and give it a name file1. So what it does is touch means it's kind of weird here, the concept. It's touching the file, but what it really does is it should be, in my opinion, it should be create file1. So when you type touch file1, what the operating system does is it creates the file. Okay, now you must be asking where is the output? So it has not provided the output here. Reason being, we have to use other command to bring out the output of what we have this this touched here. So when you use touch, what it does is it creates a file. Creates a file. Okay. So here, touch file one. Okay. Above command. Above command created file one. Okay. It created file one, but we don't see it. How are we going to see the file? ls. ls means list. Now you see there is a file one here. So ls means it lists the content of the folder directory. Let me not confuse you there yet. So let's see here. No, not this one. Okay, yeah, this one is better. It flows. So ls means list. It's a list command. ls is a list command. It lists the content here. So earlier we didn't have anything. Now we create a file, touch file one, and now the file one is there. Okay, now what we're gonna do is type ls, and then we're gonna add a switch there, -l. Okay, so now we are getting a bigger output. Okay, so let me explain you what that means. So we did the command ls-l. ls with switch -l. This means the output will be long list. ls-l means show me the long list here. So if you look earlier, you see just the file name. Okay. Okay, file is there. Now I want to know what is the details of the file here. Okay, the details of the file here is, so this is a file, and this is the timestamp, date and timestamp when the file was created and stuff. And here, who created it? Zafar 1 created it. And what group is Zafar 1 belong to? Zafar 1 belong to the group Zafar 1. So everybody should have your group name and the group as same. Okay, that is normal in Linux here. And you see this stuff here, this is called permissions. There is a huge topic in itself. We will touch that. We will have a big topic coming up on permissions, how things are working. Okay, so this is very, very important. And if you need to be really successful, that is where you really need to be in. Okay, so these are the permissions here. So everybody may be familiar, in the work environment, if you try to access a file and you cannot access the file, and you have to get the permissions for that. Okay, people who are working like a year in the corporate environment, they should know this. All right, guys, I'm gonna give a 2-minute pause before we begin. And then let me know if you have any questions. Then after 2 minutes, we'll continue. Okay, so 2 minutes are up. Any questions? If no questions, then we'll continue. So in essence, so moving along, the next command we're going to do is ls hyphen a. Okay, again lowercase a. So what do we see here is, we thought we had only file 1 in there, but there are files which are hidden. These are some of the system generated files. Okay, these are some essential files that system creates, regardless if the files are there or not in the directory. The system will create one. Okay, so ls-a, what it means is, um, list okay, ls with switch hyphen a. Okay, this means the output will display all files, including hidden files. Okay, now what are hidden files? If you look closely, this is a file, this is a file, this is a file. All these are extra files we cannot normally see, right? Unless we add a. If you look closely, all these files start with a period before that. So the hidden files they start with a period. Hidden files start with a dot. In Linux, a period is dot. And this is going to be very, very important what a period means later on. Um, it's just a worthless for now. It's just a worthless dot, right? But in future, you will learn it is very, very important thing. Now, what we could do is we could mix and match the previous command here. We have ls-l and we could do ls-a. So what we could do is this is just a basic output. If you don't have good information about the file I just highlighted, we don't have good information about this. We don't see much information here. So let's mix and match the switches. If you do ls-al, or you could do la2. I usually do al. That means you're adding two switches together with one switch. So you're telling the system, list me all files with a long list. That means give me the output in detail. Now all of a sudden you have a lot of information in front of you. So don't panic. Don't panic, okay? One thing you could do is always keep calm. In Linux, something new comes up, even now for me after 20 years, something new comes up. You know, I if I am panicking myself, I say don't panic, chill. Okay, chill for a moment here. You should do that in life if something comes up, don't panic and take any harsh actions. But here, wow, there is a lot of information here. But the thing is, it's all bunched together for every other file in this list here. Okay, so if you look closely, this file, it starts with dot, it's hidden. It has a timestamp, who created and when. Okay, uh and then the permissions here. Okay, so it's just repeating for all other files here. So I have this timestamp a long time ago. So you guys should have a newer timestamp, maybe today. The guys who are logging in today would have a newer timestamp, but for me, I'm good. I've been logging in for a while here, so I have different timestamps here. So there is another thing you would know looking at the timestamps here. If you want to delete a old file, you could look at the timestamp and then you could delete it, but don't delete anything yet. So what we could do here is, let me copy this command here. This is combination of two switches. -l long list -a all files or hidden files. Okay, so here, okay, yeah. So it shows the hidden files, long list and stuff here, right? So what I'm gonna do is ls-l. Let me see if I could annotate this here. No, this is bad idea. Oh man, how do I get rid of this? Okay. So what I have here is yeah, I'll put that later on. The thing in here. All right, give me one moment here. Let me stop. Okay, let me share it again. Okay, the annotation thing is gone. Okay, so moving along, what we're gonna do now is a command called history, okay? Type history. Okay, by the way, please follow along. You guys are following along, right? So type history and it will show you list of histories here. I got close to 1,000, but you guys must have like only few lines, right? Now what you could do is if you are looking into a server which is causing a problem, and what you do is first thing normally I do is go log into that server and take a look at the history, see what has happened. Sometimes the application team, they do some stuff they're not supposed to, and then now the server is causing a problem. So you go back into the history and take a look and see what happens, and then you would know what exactly happened here. So what you could do is sometimes a command gets very long in here, and you could copy and paste it and run it, or I'm going to run this command here. I'm interested in running, I like this command ls-al, right? ls-al is the command I'm interested in running it. How do I run that? So look at the number here. I have 951, right? So to run the command, type exclamation, shift and number 1. It will bring up exclamation. And type 951. And that command will run for you. Actually, it will tell you what it ran, and it will run it for you. Okay, so I ran 951. I'm going to grab this part here, okay? So, uh, okay, guys, I need to ask you, are you guys able grabbing the concept I'm teaching, or should I slow down? Or the pace we are going is good? Let me know if you need to slow down or if you need to.
Pace is good.
Pace is good? Okay, good. All right. So history is displays the history of commands for that user, logged in. Okay, so now my history is different from Harris, right? So that's what it means here. If you log in as a super user, the super user history would be different. If you log in as an application ID history will be different here. Okay, so that is what you need to keep in mind here. So I ran this command 951, and to run the command, use exclamation and then the number. Okay, so what it does, it will actually show you, it will actually run the command for you from the history, and it does give you the command it ran is, and then it gives you the output here. Now it says 44. I will explain that later here. Now is not the good time for that to explain. So ls-al it ran and it gave you the expected output of ls-al. Okay, so when do I use history? I use history every day. Every day I use in the morning today. I had work, so every day I'm using it. It gives you the clear picture before you start troubleshooting stuff. It tells you, what is the server, what is the activities happening with. Okay. All right. Now what we could do is, this is gonna get interesting here. So what we could do is we could run multiple commands. Okay, so let's do from history. So what I want to do is, I want to clear the screen. So don't hit enter yet, type clear, and then do semicolon. Semicolon means that command is end and beginning of a new command. Then I want to do pwd. Then I want to do the command ls-l. And then what? I hit enter. There you go. In single shot, you cleared the screen, then you ran the pwd command, and then you ran the command which is saying show me the list of the files here. So now this is getting a building block of scripting, automation. Okay, so you could run okay, so use semicolon. Provide a semicolon after each command. Okay, I ran only 3 commands here, but sky is the limit. You could run like almost all commands in here, but you got to be careful. Okay, don't, if you have a command in the middle that is deleting something and stuff, you got to be careful what you're doing here. So when you're running as a Linux, you have a root access, and you will, let me tell you, there is no recycle bin in Linux. Okay, there is a backup. There is a backup you could get it back from, but then it will expose you that you messed up a little bit. Other teams will find out, your manager will find out, and people start questioning you. So before you run any command, be cognizant of what you're doing and run this with peace of mind. One thing I tell you is you will be working on a real production systems, and sometimes you hear like some cell phone tower is out of commission, or the credit card is not working. That means the system went down. But you as a Linux guy, you have to be really careful how you're running the commands, okay? So there are some dangerous commands I'm going to teach you, but you just have to understand how you're going to be using it responsibly. So let's try a few more commands together here, right? What we could do is, by the way, if you use up and down arrow key on your keyboard, it will bring up, it will also roll back and forth on your history. Okay. So if you have this, hmm, okay, so here, let me, oops, no, this is not what I want to do. Insert below. Okay, so if you quickly want to go up and down arrow key, it will bring up like you recently used commands. I use that every day. Every day I use this. So let's add like few more commands. I want to add like I want to do ls-l. I want to do ls-al. Then I want to do history, and then one thing I forgot to show you in history is if you type history, right, it gives you everything, every command from the beginning of you started using it. At least in my case here, you see it like very first command I use history here. So what else you could do is if you don't want to see all that output here, you just want to see something recent here, you just type history hyphen 20. So it will bring you the last 20 commands. What? Okay, let me do, cannot use, I think usually history-20 should work, but it may have been deprecated here. I may have to use a different way to show this, but it will confuse you at this point here. So we'll come back to this here, okay? Um, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make myself a note here below. Okay, so that will remind me to come back here. All right, so moving along. Um, all right, so we are here so far. Now what we could do is, uh, so I was gonna show you like add more lines to the command, right? So I want to do, I want to do another command ls -al. Then command I want to do is, let's see what's in the history. I cleared it, okay, I'm not worried about it. Okay, so what I'm trying to show you here is you could run multiple commands, okay? Many commands. I've done as many as like 14 commands together, but I was told somebody else did a lot more, but it all depends on what you're trying to do. Okay, so first of all, it cleared, then it gave the PWD output, okay, then ls-l, this is the output, and then ls-al, this is the output. Okay, and it runs really fast. Okay, now what this is this is a building block of scripting. This is where the scripting starts. Scripting means automatically. I mean, it's helping you. Scripting means is like instead of sitting there running each command, clear, PWD, it's kind of automated, right? You're running like all those commands, you're just providing the information, and the system is running those commands one after other for you. So it's like helping you. All right. So now let's continue with touch command. All right, so let's clear the screen here. So what we have is we have a file name file1, right? Now let's create something called multiple files together, okay? Touch, then do doc1, doc2, doc3. So once you do that, it creates 3 different files in one shot. Okay? If you do a little ls-l, there you go. You have doc1, doc2, doc3, file1. So file1 was created earlier, but these ones, they were just created. Look, if you look closely, they all have like a same timestamp. Okay, I don't think there is much to explain in there. So now let's create a hidden file. We do have a capacity to create a hidden file. So what I'm gonna do is touch a period. Make sure you add a dot. And then type file2 and hit enter. And if you do a regular ls-l, it is not gonna show. Why? Can somebody tell me why it's not gonna show? Okay, yeah. So what do we do for it to just show that file also? And the command is? Okay. And I'm gonna do the long list also. That is correct. So I'm doing all files and then I could see file2. Okay. And likewise, you could do multiple files, multiple hidden files also. Same command, all you have to do is give a space and provide a period between each file. So the command is, this is the command.
My session timed out, but it's not letting me go back in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you guys having problem too? No? The Linux session timed out. Oh, okay. You know what? I'm logged in fine. I think there must be a command. Let me find out. So let me find out what is the command to um so Haris, I found this command. Type type like caffeinate before you log in your local terminal. Are you connected now or you're
No, I'm still in the terminal, but I'm not connected.
okay? Just type caffeinate. CAFFEINATE and hit enter. And then do the regular SSH.
Is it SSH space my name and then the IP?
Yeah.
Is there a space between my name and IP?
No, space, then there is a @ sign. at
Oh, at.
SSH Harris at then the IP 24 dot. I see you connected though.
Oh, am I? It's not showing up on my thing. I'm trying to connect right now.
You may be already connected, right? Or you're not seeing that?
I'm not seeing it.
Can you share your screen? Let's take a look. Before that, let me pause. Hold on, let me pause the recording. Okay, so there is that. So now, so where are we now? Okay, so we did hidden. Okay, by the way, in Putty, if you just highlight once, it's already copied. You don't have to right click and click copy. Once you highlight in there, it is copied to your clipboard. At least in Putty, I'm not sure about terminal there. It should be the same thing. Okay, so far, okay, we are clear on this, right? And this is the line we are interested in looking at. Okay, so we're good. And okay, now, so far, so far, what we have done is we created a file. Okay, now the interesting part is folder. Okay, so let's see how we're gonna create a folder. Okay, the command to create a folder is called mk. MK stands for make, dir means directory. Folder in the sense is a directory, right? I hope I don't have to explain too much, but directory files and folders or directories are the same thing. Folder and file. I'm sorry, folder and a directory, they all mean the same thing. So I'm going to create a command with mkdir folder one, okay? And hit enter. It's not going to show, but if I do ls-l and hit enter, now we see a folder here. It's a little bit highlighted here. Everything else has a timestamp. And then it has a permissions here. These permissions are different stuff. I mean, permissions is a big topic in itself. We will touch on it, but for now, don't worry about it. This is just remember, this is a permission part. So mkdir, the command, it makes the directory, okay? Mkdir creates a directory. Directory or folder, same meaning. Now, if you could do a single directory, you could also do multiple directories. Folder 2, folder 3, folder 4. Okay. You could we created multiple files at the same time, and now we have created multiple folders at the same time without any issue. Okay, so I'm not sure how many you could do it. But in reality, I'm not creating as many folders as I'm creating files. So you are good here. I mean, you just have to remember the concept. All right, so this is good. So what you need to do is, if you need to take a look at, if you do ls-l, you have the files and folders and directory, okay? But if you want to see a little bit like a layout version, how the files and folders are there, you could type a command called tree, T-R-E-E, and it will show you the layout here. So down on the bottom, it says you have about so tree displays the output of the existing PWD. PWD means print working directory or present working directory. Sometimes I call it present working directory. In layout format. All right, so okay, so what do I have now? So let me clear the screen and let me type tree again. Okay, now I want to get into the folder 1. How do I do that? Easy. The command for that is cd. This is the most used command. Okay, cd means change directory. Command is for changing directory. And then you said cd folder 1, and then over here you could see folder 1. Okay, it will show you folder 1 here. Now let's look at the interesting part. Okay, so if you type pwd, present working directory or print working directory, now you have /home/Zafar1 slash folder 1. Okay, so now you are so in reality, pwd shows you your working directory. Earlier the pwd was /home/Zafar1, right? That is your landing directory. when you log into the operating system, Linux operating system, that is where you logged in. There is also a directory. Okay, so remember, your landing directory is also a folder or a directory or your space, workspace, if you call it yourself. Now you see now here, this is called the path. Okay, so you can see directory you are in using pwd. Now I'm going to introduce you. What is this here? The output you're looking at, it must be just the location and all that, but in reality, this is called path. Okay, now the meaning has changed a little bit. This is path of the um, present working directory. I use print working directory and present working directory interchangeably. I prefer a present working directory because that is more easy to understand where you at. So this is a path now. Or address. In legacy terms, this is the address of the folder. Okay, so like here, this is Illinois, this is Gurney, and this is your home. Just keep it that way. Illinois, Gurney, home. Okay, easy. Now, I mean, can't get easier than that. So this is the path of the present working directory. That means you are sitting in /home/Zafar1 folder 1. All right. Okay, guys, I think we still have to continue, okay? Let's do a, a 15-minute break, okay? And then we'll come back and then we'll wrap it up on another 45 minutes. And then after that, we should be good for the day here. And then I'm going to specify, I'm going to load all this, the recording and the document, everything should be on this website I shared earlier. Okay, it will be, when you click on basic command, it will load here. Okay, and what else is, I'll highly recommend before the next class, next Saturday, practice all these commands uh, 50 times each. If you do it 100 or 200 times, better. At least 50 times before you come back to the class, okay? So the break starts now.
Did we resume the class? I can't hear anything.
Oh man, sorry, Horace. I was on mute. But
No, it's okay.
were you seeing my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen. I just thought you were fixing up some stuff. Like you didn't start it yet, but then
Yeah.
I just kept seeing more and more. So I was just
Oh, okay. You know what? Actually, let me go back here. So it's not that much we covered here. Okay, so when you simply type cd command, so let me. So we were in this directory, right? If you just simply type cd, what it does is it will take you to your home directory, the directory where you started from. Okay. Now, now you just realize, oh, man, I don't want to be in this directory. I wanted to go back to my previous directory, and my previous directory was buried somewhere. I was in like 10 different directories. Now I really don't want to go back searching it up again and save time. So you do cd minus and hit enter. What it does, it will bring you back to this directory. So simple cd, it brings you back to the home directory, but cd minus, it brings you back to this previous working directory. Okay, that is what I explained here. Okay, so now once you are here, so let me explain you one concept here. This is the child directory. The parent directory for this child is folder 1. The parent directory for Zafar 1 is no, the folder for folder parent directory is Zafar 1. For Zafar 1, the parent directory is home. Okay. So if you are like from home till directory 1, you are like 4 generations. So you just have to remember this is like a tree, and these are all the branches. In fact, I may have a picture of how the directory is showing. Okay. I don't want to release this yet, but here's the, okay. See, this is how the directory structure is. Inside one directory, it could be like, just think of a tree. From from the big trunk, you have branches. From the branches, you have like smaller branches. From there, then you have like twigs and sticks. So that is how it works. It's just a tree system. Okay, so staying on what I was explaining you. So from this directory, you want to go to the parent directory, only one directory up, okay? From here, you want to go back reverse to the parent directory. There would be a single cd 2 dots. Okay, so 2 dot means you're telling the system, take me back one level up. Okay, if you do pwd, and if you do cd dot dot pwd, now you were here, then you came here, then you came here. Okay, so I'm gonna give like 30 seconds. Tell me if you get this concept.
for my output, it only says hash home slash hard slash folder one. It doesn't say the slash directory one at the end.
Okay, so I think we missed this part here. So go ahead and create another directory in there, folder one. Create a
In folder one?
yeah, in folder one, yeah. So mkdir space directory one. So can you share your screen? Let me stop my screen. Okay. Okay, so you're on the bottom of the screen. For some reason, I can't see your full screen. Okay, maybe I do now. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, now do ls there. And hit enter. Now see, you see directory one. So what you do is type cd and type only d. Then don't type the whole name. Space, give d as in David, and then do tab. Tab key,
Tab.
yeah, tab key on your keyboard. There you go. So what I was trying to show you here is it will autofill it for you. If there is another directory with the same name, but instead of directory one, it's the directory two, you could tab it twice and it will give you options starting with D and hit enter. Hit enter there.
Oh.
And now do PWD. Okay, so now this is the full address of your present working directory. Okay, now type cd minus, cd space minus. No, sorry, don't do that. Go back cd space minus again. And do cd and hit enter. And do PWD. So this throws you at your original home directory, right? Now
Yeah.
do cd space minus. Now it brings you back into your previous working directory. Now, if you want to go like only one directory up, you want to, for directory one, folder one is the parent directory, right? So what you want to do is do cd space double dot, enter. Now do PWD. Okay, see, now it took you back to one directory. Now, if you do ls here, what are you going to see? There, directory one. Beautiful. Okay, so now moving along, let me share. So each time you hit cd dot dot, you go up the directory. So let me remove this here. Each time you hit cd dot dot, you will go up a directory or folder. This means you are changing to parent directory. All right. So you got this concept good, right, so far? Now, let's see here. So you are in PWD here, right? So what you want to do is you want to create a folder. Okay, let's do tree, TREE. Okay, now you see the tree is starting to get in, make sense here. So looking at it here, you see Okay, so let me clear one option here. So you see a dot here, right? You must be asking what is a dot here. Okay, let me explain you that here. So a dot, single dot means PWD, and two dot means PWD. So let me explain you. Single dot, this means present working directory. Okay, and two dots, this means parent working directory. Let me remove this here. You're gonna get confused. Why do I have this here? This means a parent working directory of the directory you are in. Okay, if you get confused, let me know. Let me know now, or you could ask in the chat also when you are practicing it. I'm sure this gets a little confusing, but it's very simple. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is, so I showed you how to jump back from one directory to another directory, right? So let me clear this and let me do CD minus. When I do CD minus, I went to the directory here, but hold on, let me go back to CD. From my home directory, I'm gonna do tree, TREE. So in single shot, I want to go to this directory here. So what you do is you type CD, type folder one, and then type directory one. So I purposely misspelled my name directory here, okay? So that I could use the tab key. I type D, and then when I type tab, it automatically took, because it knows there is only one option that's starting with D, it auto-filled it. But there are more options starting with the same letter. You could like add 3 more letters there and do tab, maybe it will autofill it, or it will give you options which directory you want to go in. Okay? So now from here, from PWD, before I do that, PWD, okay? From here, I'm gonna go into folder one, then I'm gonna do directory one, and then hit enter. Instead of coming from CD folder one, enter, then CD folder one, CD directory one, I don't have to do all that. I just have to do CD folder slash one, and then directory one. There you go. In a single shot, you're doing the multiple things here. All right. So what I'm gonna do is, why did I delete that? Undo that. So the command is CD slash folder one slash dirctory1. Okay, so here you are changing multiple directories. Okay, so you did this going this way here, right? Now, if you do pwd and if I do cd dot dot, right? When I do cd dot dot, where I'm gonna go? When I do cd dot dot, I'm gonna go to folder 1. Now, instead of doing that, I'm gonna do cd slash dot dot again. Now, what I'm gonna do is, it will throw me back into Zafar 1. So here you're telling the system, okay, system, go to the parent directory of directory 1, and from there, go to the parent directory of folder 1, which is Zafar 1. Okay, and I hit enter. There you go. So let me get this here. And this command will take you. This command will take you a couple directories up. Okay, so if you were in like 10 directories deep, you just want to go a couple directories back, you could do that. cd dot dot slash cd dot dot. Okay, and another 5 minutes, we could wrap it up, and we'll start the new concept next week. Okay. What else? What else? So give me one moment here. Okay, so here, ls hyphen al. Okay, so we created a hidden file, right? We could also create a hidden directory. Okay, how are we gonna do a hidden directory? mkdir period. Add a period, then you could type dir1. And if you do regular ls-l, it's not gonna show. If you type ls-al, then it will show. Where is it? dir1. Where is right here? dir1. So let me copy this part here. I should have showed you that over here. Then again, you could create multiple directories at the same time. Not a big deal. Okay, now, let me see what else I need to show you. Okay, I will spend some more time on that next week. Okay, so remember, anywhere you see anything capital letters, any command in capital letters, just assume it is all small letters, okay? And I think this is a handful here. All right, guys, so you will have access to the system 24/7. So I highly recommend use whenever you want, early in the morning, middle of the day, midnight, it's all there. And let me know if there is if you're not able to connect to the system, I could help you right away. But most of the time the system should be available. Yeah, it's been up for a long time. And as soon as I'm done here, what I'll do is I will go ahead and upload this, and I'll put it in the group chat so that you could so that you know the activity or the when it's ready. Oh, shoot, I shouldn't be. I'll save this later, okay? All right, guys. So this is the wrap now. Next week we're gonna join. Same thing, but I highly recommend ask me any questions throughout the week. And if you want somebody else to join the class, they're welcome to. They could definitely join and get a use out of this. All right, thanks for joining. I'm gonna stop the video here. Stop the recording.